Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love sim racing. I mean, I'm having an incredible battle right now. But it is all very serious. Very intense. And sometimes I just don't need that in my life.
Handily, smaller independent racing games also exist to help take the seriousness out of racing, and also provide a sideways look with fresh ideas. Here are 5 recently released indie racing games that we think you should try. As far as indie arcade racers go, you'll be hard-pressed to find another title that can grab your attention in more different ways than Super Woden GP 2. This sequel from sole developer Spaniard Vijuda is a step forward from the widely revered 2021 original in pretty much every perceivable area, and uses the power of nostalgia in various guises as its bait. Were you a fan back in the day of the now retro isometric racing genre? This game has you covered, challenging you with a gameplay experience that requires practice, rhythm, and a specific technique that will be learned over time. How about general old-school motorsport and car nerdery? This game more than has you covered. Nearly 200 unlicensed vehicles, all heavily inspired by legendary machinery, obscure and esteemed alike. And then we have the unmistakable, unashamed clutch at the ever-present Gran Turismo heartstrings. Upon booting the game for the first time, the inspiration behind it infiltrates your vision and your eardrums. Assuming you're a fan of those early GT titles, you can't help but smile. The progression naturally bounces you from one discipline to the next, whether that's rally, endurance, or a regular circuit racing event or championship. And as you compete for stars, grow your bank balance, upgrade your current car and acquire new ones, you'll find yourself climbing the performance ladder in a satisfying manner, moving from low-powered rust buckets and 1970s minivans through rally cars and touring classics, all the way up to GTs and of course prototypes. But there's always a new event that will crop up, giving your slower cars long-term purpose. There's even a cute animation for car washes and oil changes. Okay, I promise I'm now done with the Gran Turismo gushing, because aside from getting the important bits right, this game also has multiplayer elements to appease the competitive spirit, a well-balanced difficulty level, and some specific gameplay and handling traits that provides a unique personality. You just have to get to know it first, although don't be surprised if it's true love at first sight. Initially released on PC in November last year, this game is now available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series S, and Xbox Series X as of the end of July, so very recently this has become a game that might now be accessible to you. It's also a game that specifically suits a handheld device, such as the Switch, which is something many racing games fall short of achieving, so we have to give it big props for that. Rush Rally Origins may be the oldest game on this list, but it certainly deserves a space on your radar. The main appeal is the gameplay itself, this rally title providing a joyous and detailed driving experience out on the stages. The unlicensed but recognisable cars each have their own unique handling characteristics, mimicking that of the machine they're based on, and you can apply those classic rallying techniques to throw your weight around and glide through the corners. Solo developer and founder of Brown Monster Games, Stephen Brown, injects fun into the details too, countering the lack of licenses with humour for rally fans. Let's see how Timo Slalom and Sebastian OK get on in their Not a Ford. This is yet another isometric racer, although you can also switch to a top-down helicam on the fly should you wish. Being rally-focused, however, the addition of pace notes and an active co-driver perfectly complements these perspectives, unlike in something such as contemporary rival Art of Rally. Tuning into the notes allows you to place your car perfectly before each corner, inducing that magical flow only rallying can. The progression is as straightforward as it comes. Win stages and rallies for one location to unlock the next, of which there are 8 in total. It's not just you against the clock, however. There are also races where you compete against 5 AI opponents along the same stretches of road. These roads might be tarmac, or gravel, or snow, and each location has its own set of challenges and qualities that keep things interesting, much like the vehicles. Given its mobile roots, superlative performance on Nintendo Switch, and streamlined gameplay, this truly is a pick-up-and-play racing experience in every sense. Now it's probably a good time to point out that all of the games featured in this video have been either released in the last 12 months or ported across to a new platform in the last 12 months or so as well, and none of them are in early access, so if you're wondering where your favourite indie racing title is, that might explain why. Having said that, we would love to hear what games you would put on this list, so let us know down in the comments below what sort of indie games you love playing, and maybe we'll make another video featuring some of those. Now, if you don't want to miss that video when it does actually come out, you might want to subscribe to this Traxion channel and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time we release a new video. And also, if you're enjoying this one, why not leave us a like, as it does help us reach new audiences. So thank you very much for your support as always, and we'll jump back into the video. On one side of the spectrum is your bog standard racing format with a field of vehicles and time trials in a semi-serious setting. On the other hand, as well as yanking that entire spectrum along with it, is Distance. This is a time trial based arcade racing game set in an incredibly vibrant, dystopian, futuristic landscape with fast paced action and a thumping soundtrack to boot. That sentence was a bit of a mouthful, but honestly it's nigh on impossible to try and get across just how intense this gaming experience is. We did give it a good try a few years ago for our full retrospective however, so make sure you go and check that video out as well. In short, the campaign features you and the car traversing through an atmospheric facility that you need to escape while it goes into meltdown. You're introduced to the mechanics one by one, whilst everything in your path tries to slow you down. Walls, saw blades, even frickin' laser beams that slice your car in whatever way they feel fit, and can cause a loss of control depending on the damage. Your vehicle may end up looking like some sort of futuristic block of cheese. Or the STP Lotus 56 turbine car, I guess. Now you might be confused as to why we've included this game, considering it was officially released in 2019, after 4 years in early access. Well, good news, because Distance has just entered the console market, being available for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Alongside this release comes a major update on all platforms, the Kinetic Update version 1.5. This contains a whole array of new levels to tackle, and a bunch of other updates throughout the title, especially important for you Steam Deck users out there. Finally, we can experience the intensity of this title from the comfort of our sofas, although the experience itself isn't always that comfy. Now, which racing game should you play if you're looking for a multi-season, in-depth Formula 1 career mode, involving car and team development, staff perks and upgrades, rivalries, press interviews, tyre and fuel strategies, dynamic weather, and rewinds? That's right, New Star GP. It's yet another retro-inspired title, New Star Games, much like many of the other developers in this video, using the allure of nostalgia to draw people in, and then keeping them engaged with a strong core experience. Starting in the 80s, you race your way through the decades, picking up speed and bitter enemies in the process. Can't say I ever expected to have beef with a Nigel Mansell-inspired AI opponent, but then again, is it really that surprising? These rivalries you develop demonstrate the depth this career experience provides, with both off-track decisions such as answering questions from journalists, and on-track antics, i.e. collisions and overtakes, affecting exactly how that rival treats you. As well as managing yours and others' road rage, you'll have to manage your resources to develop your car effectively and force your way to the front of the field. Do you spend all your money on short-term boosts to give you those instant results, or save up for that major engine upgrade that will see you end the season on form? And do you focus on pleasing your pit chief, or your engineer, or your commercial manager? I don't have time to go deeper into this right now, but trust me when I say I've barely scratched the surface. The gameplay itself is vibrant, energetic, fierce. When it comes to your strategy calls and overtakes, you must be as bold as the dev team's colour palette. The AI drivers regularly come to blows too, creating monster shunts that just add to the adrenaline. Pit stops are a game of chicken with your fuel tank, and that feeling of crossing the line first, holding off Gilles Verveil to take the title is all the more impactful, given the challenge and the decisions you've had to make along the way. When the race is won, you've read the comical news report and further stirred Il Leone's pot, there will be a smile on your face. Those looking for a stern test of their mettle, look away now. But don't actually, just please keep watching. Even the most ardent of hardcore driving fans need to chill out sometimes. So why not relax with yet more driving? It's hard not to beam from ear to ear when playing Horizon Chase 2. A deep-rooted sense of competition transcends its overtly childish sensibilities. All you have to do is hit the gas and occasionally a boost button. Yes, you sometimes also need to steer, but for the most part the driving is inert. Precision is not a requisite skill, at least initially. Get hooked into the leaderboards, super trophies, which are objectives higher than gold ratings, and online multiplayer, and you must learn the precise moment when a little lift off the throttle avoids a time-consuming spin. Easy to pick up, difficult to master, a tentpole structure that usually signals a great game. You start each race from the back of the grid, avoiding rivals in a way that harks back to classics such as Lotus Turbo Challenge, mixed with Outrun. Like watching a Sylvester Stallone movie, you can leave your brain at the entrance if you want to. What appeals here is a sense of joyful enthusiasm. The visuals are outlandish, with more colour than a bag of M&Ms, and extraordinarily varied. Crucially, for such a fast-paced game, it runs as smooth as soul music, but rock-steady frame rates. You play through 6 main countries, with its own distinct regions within. It means as you progress through the main campaign, each event feels unique, as if there isn't a single repeated track. Compared to the 2015 original, the style is perhaps overblown, and now there are cosmetic items and vehicle upgrades, all of which threaten to spoil the purity. Horizon Chase is deliberately simple. Then we have the sticky subject of ownership. You see, while creators Aquaris used to be an independent studio, it's now owned by megacorp Epic Games. We should make the most of this too, as during the takeover, it was announced it will now focus on contributing to the future of Fortnite instead. Horizon Chase 2 is technically no longer an indie game, but the main creation process and initial release were before that acquisition. It's just that the recent console versions arrived in May. For all its brashness and corporate overlords, the sequel has not forgotten what made the original so Moorish, a testament to the Brazilian development team's core vision. Simplistic, and all the better for it. So that was 5 epic indie racing games that you may have missed, but of course there are plenty more that deserve their share of the limelight. So before we wrap things up, here are just a couple more games that are well worth your attention. Super Spec Rallycross is another top-down arcade-inspired gameplay experience packed full of 90s energy. Capturing the intense spirit of the sport it portrays, you're pitched against a pack of aggressive AI drivers for a series of mixed surface races. There are joker laps, jumps, classic cars and liveries from the worlds of rally and rallycross over the decades, as well as real-world inspired venues. The progression system is like Mario Kart, win cups to unlock the next, as well as cars that you can use as you move through. It's a simple to pick up, quick blast of sideways enjoyment with high-octane battles galore. Another top-down indie title that you probably have heard of this time is Circuit Superstars. But did you know that the creators, Original Fire Games, also produced a sequel of sorts? I say sequel, maybe more of a spin-off, as Karting Superstars retains the charm and style of its older sibling, but this time presents things from a different angle. Literally. The switch to Chase Cam allows you to see many of the same circuits, but from a totally fresh perspective, providing the same thrills and spills, but this time in karts instead of cars. The 5-person family-led studio has partnered up with iRacing since this game was produced, however, so expect a true sequel for Circuit Superstars in the coming years. So that's going to wrap up this video for today. Hopefully you found it enjoyable and insightful, and maybe you're going to give some of these games a try for yourself. But as I said earlier, also let us know down in the comments your own favourite indie racing games so that we can share them with everyone else, and maybe we'll make another video like this in the future. Subscribe to the Traxion channel so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course hit that notification bell to catch these videos as they're released. You can also join the discussion in our paddock over on Discord, so for more information, check out the link in the description. Until next time, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.